Hello and welcome to episode 87 of What If Civilization Started Over. Let's get into it. So, last episode, many things happened. We saw many things following the conclusion of World War V. And today we're going to be starting in the American country. Because the Caribbean areas in the American country are very unstable. So, the Caribbean areas in America are going to rebel away from America. And why does this happen? You may say. Wait, what? Huh? Yeah. Why does this happen? Because America is very, very unstable right now. They just got out of World War V, being one of the stronger countries in the world. But now, they've lost a lot of their power. And, well, you can see that as these countries have broken away. Or just declared independence, these new countries. But also when we go up here, we are going to be seeing that a blue rebellion pops up over here. And it will look like this. And then we can go over here seeing that a green rebellion pops up. And, well, this one pops up over in this area, and the American Civil War has started. Very quickly, other countries are going to join in on this war, such as the Texas country, going to be invading Louisiana and Texas areas. And also, the California country is going to be doing something, and they are going to be invading America alongside this country that hasn't done anything. Yeah. And also, Quebec is going to be invading America as well in order to attempt to get some of their lands back. And they are very successful. The Americans are going to be able to push back the Caribbean rebellion and fully non-existentify it, but they will be struggling over here in this area as the Blue Rebellion makes a landing over here and will be invading these parts of America. Yeah. And America will also be doing very well against the Green Rebellion as they fully encompass Lake Superior once again and will be going ahead and going and splitting this rebellion in half. But they won't be doing as well in this area as Quebec is pushing back and starting to take a lot of major Canadian areas. Yeah. They will also be failing over here as well. Yeah. But Florida is going to rebel away. As Florida is back, yeah, as the Caribbean areas will also rebel, and America is collapsing. As these countries, well, the Green Rebellion will be completely eradicated, but in compensation for that, the Pink Country will be going ahead and capturing some of this land, and the Quebecians will be able to push back America even more. As the Blue Rebellion is starting to spread into Maine areas of Maine and also New England, as they reach towards the capital. This is going to cause many more areas to start rebelling away from the giant American mess that's going on here, as a new rebellion pops up here. And even more rebellions represented by this gray color are going to be popping up, splitting America, as America is just collapsing. Eventually, all this area is going to fall, and America loses all of its rebellious things. Yeah, yeah, not that much, but this much. As these rebellions start to push back and defeat America. And America is going to be getting virtually no support, as America is just not very liked by the world. And eventually, the capital of America, New York, is going to be captured, and America loses. And we can look at the peace treaty of the American Civil War. This is the peace treaty of the American Civil War, as America is completely divided. And I think it might now be time to do power rankings. We haven't done these in a while. 50. The strongest country in the world currently is still China. Yeah, but the second strongest country in the world is actually Russia, as Russia has gained a lot of power recently. The third strongest country in the world is. I'll say India. The fourth strongest country in the world? Egypt. The fifth strongest? Algeria. Sixth strongest? I don't know what to say, but I'll say South Africa. Seventh is actually Quebec. Surprisingly, the eighth strongest country in the world currently is Germany. the ninth strongest is Ireland, and the 10th strongest is the is the is the Red French country. And those are the top 10 power rankings. Time to go to Europe because these European alliances are going to be expanding a bit more, as more nations will be joining the Triangle Alliance over time. Because Ireland is going to join the Triangle Alliance, and then shortly after that, this green country is going to join it. And well, yeah. Also, the Greek country is going to join it as well. And we're going to be going to these two tiny countries here, as Russia is going to be invading this blue one. The Russian invasion of the blue country begins, and the Lithuanian country, this country, is going to be joining in on it, and we'll be capturing the capital. And we can look at a peace treaty. And this is the peace treaty. As all these areas are next. And I think I might want to change the color of this country here. This color. No. Yeah, that's good. That's a pretty good color. Yeah, that's the color of this country now. Well, I did say something about this country here, because this yellow country is going to be declared war upon by Russia, and its capital is going to be taken very quickly. And the peace treaty is very simple, because Russia is going to be fully annexing this country. Yeah. And this is our new map of Europe. And alliances are going to be expanding more, as these two countries, the gold country is going to join the Square Alliance, and this one's going to join the Triangle Alliance. Time to talk about these two countries now. Yeah, they are something to say. They want to reunite the Mediterranean Union, and the world will not allow this union to come back, so they are going to be joining sides. They were they're kind of enemies with everybody. Historically, the red team pretty big enemies of them. Same thing with Iberia and the yellow team. Mainly the yellow team is enemies with the red team and the Iberians. The blue team is mainly enemies with Rome. And well, they're surrounded. And so these countries are going to make their own tripolar agreement, and the Diamond Alliance is formed. This alliance is formed in order to make sure these two countries don't just disappear from the map. And more countries are going to be joining this alliance, such as this country, because it is scared for its life. And so is this country. Wait. And also this country is going to join this alliance as well. No, go back over here. As Sweden is also going to be joining this alliance. And Europe is very quickly becoming very, something. Very something. Time to go to China. Because rebellions are popping up in Japan. With the recent information that came out about China being the one to fund the Mediterranean rebels, China is going to be very unstable. And Japan is going to rebel away from China. The whole Japanese Isles are going to be rebelling away from China. Yeah. And then the Korean Peninsula rebels away. I'll just be representing all these rebellions by one color, even though they're all separate, as Indonesian rebellions start popping up across this whole area, and so do rebellions across the Southeast Asian area. And well, the rebellions also spread up to here, and well, the new map of China looks something like this. And these are the areas that break away, these red areas, and the Chinese Civil War can start. As the Chinese will be losing in the initial fronts of the war, as the Southeast Asian theater is going to be very successful for non-Chinese nations, as also Taiwan is going to join in on this rebellion, but they will still be able to keep on to the Philippines. This rebellion up here is going to be being pushed back by China, but it's getting funded by a couple foreign powers, as this thing is just, well, going to be pushed back. But the Chinese are also going to be pushing back in the Korean Peninsula as they invade into this area, but they won't be able to penetrate in Japan. But Japan is going to be making a landing over here in this area, and they will also be making many landings throughout the Sea of Japan, and while the rebellions will be capturing the whole sea. Yeah. The Taiwanese rebellion is going to be defeated, but the front line is stable. As well, that in compromise, the Philippines is going to be losing a lot. And well, the Philippines is captured, And this island is also captured. And the Chinese Civil War looks something like this. As the Chinese will also be fully defeating this rebellion here. And this is what the front lines look like so far. Yeah. And this is what the new front lines look like. And I can remove this stuff from the war layer. Wait. Oh wait, this island. I forgot to color that in. But this is what the front lines in the Chinese Civil War look like so far. And the Japanese, Korean, and Southeast Asian areas are the most popular areas where the rebellions are being affected. Well, wait. I forgot to remove this capital here. Let me just erase that and fill this tiny piece in. And now the red Australian country doesn't exist anymore. Yeah. When we go over to the Middle East, specifically down in the Arabian Peninsula, we're going to be seeing that more rebellions are popping up over in here. As this green country has some rebellions, so does the purple country. And this not giant rebellion, but these rebellions will be able to take over both these countries. And this is the peace treaty. As the Middle East becomes more divided. Yeah, Russia is going to be finally finishing off this country as Russia starts the second invasion of the Siberian country. As Russia will be invading this thing, and so will the Pink Team as the Pink Team joins in on this war in order to take some land back. And well, the capital is taken, and we can look at a peace treaty. And this is the peace treaty as this area is annexed by the Pink Team and the Russians annex this. And well, the Siberian country doesn't exist anymore. Yeah. A new alliance is going to be formed. An economical alliance for a change. An economical alliance that is going to be formed by, surprisingly, Quebec. As well, the Circle Economical Alliance is formed, and it is going to be formed by some pretty big nations. As this country joins it, and so does this country. Every country in the world is invited to this alliance, and also India joins the alliance. And so does Russia. Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on in this world. Let's talk about space now. Countries are, like, wanting to go to space. They talk about space in the series as well. Right? Countries have gone to space already. They went to space a long, long time ago. But there's not going to be any, like, moon colonies or anything in this thing. Let me just say another thing. This videos for so might be getting slightly shorter. Instead of being around the 17-minute range, they might start going to a 15-minute range. Maybe starting with this video, but well, there only including this episode, only about 14 episodes left in the series. And next episode is going to be 13. We're almost at 100. 100. Episode 100 is the final episode of this series. And well, I'm going to talk about Finland. As Finland is very unstable right now, and they are going to be going into a civil war. Another civil war happening in this episode. As these northern areas are going to be breaking away from Finland. And well, Finland is just going to grant them their independence. And I can just very quickly draw a border. Yeah. No, really? Wrong layer. As the border will look something like this. And whoa! Oh wait, this green country, this color's back on this map. Oh wait, Russia's going to be invading this thing right away. Yeah, peace treaty time. As the peace treaty is very simple. Basically, Russia just gets bigger. Yeah. Can't talk about Ireland, as Ireland is having some issues, and they are also having a civil war. Specifically over in the Welsh and Scottish areas, as they will be breaking away. And eventually they will only hold on to the England area, and also some of Southern Ireland will break away. And these are the areas that break away. Yeah. And, well, Africa, time to talk about these countries, as these countries, which have been around for a while, are going to reunify. And they are all going to unite under this blue country, as the blue country is back on the map. Africa is more united, and countries happening. People around the world recently, over in the Tanzanian area, over in the previous capital of Tanzania, they find an artifact. They find something in a language that they don't know. Something in a language that they believe to be called English. A language that they believe that, and some artifacts. They find machines. They find many machines in Tanzania. And some of them have the name Alex Einstein engraved into them. And well, they are going to be looking at these artifacts and they are going to bring them to the capital of this country to study. And they figure out how to decode this English thing. And they can decode that this is something from a previous world known as the Earth. It was known that the Chinese and Russian Union was once down here during a war that for them was called World War V. No, World War IV. But they lost, and well, this famous figure, Alex Einstein, eventually came here to take over the world. And it's found in Tanzania as well that Alex Einstein made civilization. This is further proven by what's found in the capital of the Red Team, as they find artifacts of Alternate Future of the World from the Alternate Future of the World series. Some they can very much decode it now. They figured out how to decode this English thing into whatever language they have here. Why am I calling this area? I don't know. But basically, they figure out that this world didn't just come. It was made by a person. And also, back in Tanzania, they find an artifact, a message that somebody had placed down there. Very in the open. It said this: "We know this world was a mistake. I never meant to make this world. This world does not belong here. The portals will open up very soon. You will get to see what it's like having another world beside you. Your world versus this other world. This world you don't know about. Welcome to Wixo." It's signed by Alex Einstein. And this is kind of hard to decode. But basically, they figure out that Alex Einstein is planning to end the world. And this is going to alarm the whole world. The world realizes, hey, there's some being we don't know about whose name is Alex Einstein trying to end our world. Do you think we should stop him? I think we should. And that is going to do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of What If Civilization Started Over. See you in the next episode and bye!